Thank you. It's good to see y'all. Is this even on?
It is on.
My name is Jim Trainer, and I don't like the Rolling Stones. I met her at SWARFA, the Southwestern Regional Folk Alliance Conference, over 4 days at the Austin Hilton Midtown. 300 folk singers and me and her. By day 2, she had let her hair down. She was sipping tequila at the hotel bar. We spent the night together talking. We would wait to be intimate. We didn't have to be because my touch just electrified her. On the way into day 3 of the conference, we stopped at a little crystal store called Nature's Treasures. She got her cards read. The tarot reader told her she'd be going back to LA and that I would be mad about it. Some psychic, right? I got mad about it. What I got mad about was the way she said, well, yeah, I'm going back to LA eventually. You know, like I should know that. Like I should know anything after spending 24 hours with this person. Lack of sleep got the best of us. Somewhere in our second night together, she reached for protection. I said, you know, I'd rather get to know you than to go that route and try to use protection, and that wasn't good. She didn't like that answer. Sometime later in the night, she said I was out of the running. We wouldn't be sleeping together. Later still, she said that if I wanted to sleep with other people, it's fine. And I said, I don't want to sleep with other people. Do you? She did. She, right, Sarah? She wanted to stay connected to me. She wanted us to help each other out, right? I was to help her around the house. She would help me with the career. She's a life coach. We would stay connected. We would do everything in bed except, and she wanted to keep her options open. To which I said, no, thank you. I don't want that. Of course, we couldn't sleep after that. It got hot. It got heavy. I reached for the protection. She said no. I slept in the other bed, and I woke up the next morning resigned, defeated. I would go along with the program. We were friends. We were sleeping together. I would just do whatever it took, you know. Slid into bed next to her, and she gave me the talk. We were done. 48 hours. Infatuation, love, lust, drama, death. We were kaput, and I was fixing to leave because that's what you do when someone breaks up with you. You leave or they leave, right? That's what happens. She didn't want me to go. I got home, there was a voicemail, text messages. She called me. She was sorry. Come back. Just go with the program. We don't have to talk about it. I went back. I pulled up the rugs from her living room. They were soaked with cat piss. I Swiffered her hardwood floors with ammonia and mint. And as I was moving her furniture back, she said, you know, I'm PMSing right now, and when I'm PMSing, I say things that people bristle at initially, but eventually they come around to see that I'm right about everything. She was backpedaling on her apology. We were again mired in the same conversation we had been mired in for 15 sleepless hours. I fixed to leave, and a Rolling Stones song came on. And she said, what's your favorite Stones song? And I said, this one, Wild Horses. Although, admittedly, I'm not the biggest fan of the greatest rock and roll band in the world, right? Because we all know that's Fugazi anyway. I left, I caught up on sleep, caught up with her a few days later. Here's the thing, when I met her, right before the folk conference, I had just left my job of 5 years. I was caring for a 60-year-old quadriplegic man for 5 years. It was a live-in position. I moved out. I had no furniture. I had no bed. I had nothing but a floor to sleep on while I waited for her to call me back. You know, I was trying to solve that problem. I was putting together an IKEA dresser, a Malm, and I'm on the phone. She said, yeah, you know, I knew you were in transition. And, you know, that's a big red flag. You know, we could never be together. And I said, thank you for sharing your feelings about my transition. there are infinite better ways for me to spend my time than to listen to your opinion about my transition as I'm transitioning. Say, putting this dresser together, a 42-year-old man. So she hung up on me. I wrote her an email that said, you know, I'm sorry you're scared, but I'm not sorry for who I am. Every good and bad thing about me is the result of a choice I made and a price I paid. This wasn't free. She wrote me back a long email that I know from my tenure of fuck all dysfunctional toxic relationships, don't read it, right? Certain words can't be taken back. Luckily, I came across a statement maybe a quarter of the way down that helped me to move on and gave me this wonderful story to share with all of you. She said, "You don't even like the Rolling Stones." Thank you.